In 1572, the witch Malkine is imprisoned on a mountaintop by Spook Gregory, whose duty is to hunt down dark creatures. Years later, a full blood moon rises and restores Malkin's strength, letting her transform into a flying beast and escape her prison. Elsewhere, Gregory is drinking at a tavern when his apprentice William arrives with news about a girl possessed at the church. Gregory says he's resting, and a man insults him for ignoring the problem. When the man grabs Gregory's shoulder, Gregory beats him up using only his mug, even tossing him a sword just to make the fight more interesting, then knocks him out and dumps ale on him. Gregory and William then head to the church. Once armed, they enter and find a young girl chained to a pillar, possessed. She uses her power to fling a cross at them, but Gregory catches it. Her father says she has been like this since the previous night. Speaking with a demonic voice, the girl reveals that Malkin has escaped. Gregory places a pouch of enchanted powder around the girl's neck, and she collapses as dark energy leaves her body. She returns to normal, and her parents take her away. The dark essence gathers and becomes Malkin, who mocks Gregory and tries to manipulate William. On Gregory's signal, William cuts a ceiling rope with an axe to drop a bell on Malkin, but she dodges, shifts into a monster, slashes Gregory, and attempts to flee. William shoots her with an arrow and throws a silver net over her. She drags him through the doorway and slams him against a wall, but he hangs on long enough for Gregory to join in. Together they pull her down, and the silver weakens her until she reverts to human form. They try to imprison her in a cage, but before Gregory can lock it, Malkin grabs William and pulls him in, choking him until he dies. Gregory sets the cage ablaze in fury, but Malkin transforms again, breaks free, and flies away. Nearby, Tom tries hunting in the woods, but his sister frightens off the animals while scolding him about chores. Tom isn't skilled at hunting, but he longs for more than farm work. Suddenly, he experiences intense visions involving Gregory and an unknown woman. His mother comforts him. These visions are frequent. Gregory soon arrives at the farm, and Tom's mother quickly hides her necklace. Gregory says he's searching for a seventh son of a seventh son and demands food. Tom reveals he fits the description, and Gregory offers money to take him as an apprentice. Tom's mother fears the danger, but Tom accepts, recognizing Gregory from his visions. Before he leaves, his mother gives him her necklace and tells him never to remove it. Meanwhile, Malkin returns to her ruined lair and finds her sister Lizzie badly burned. She heals Lizzie and uses magic to restore the lair. After a long boat journey, Gregory brings Tom to the city, gives him money, and sends him to buy supplies. While wandering, Tom finds townsfolk preparing to burn a young woman named Alice as a witch. Tom recognizes her from his visions and pretends to be Gregory's apprentice on official duty, convincing them to release her. Once alone, he cuts her ropes. Alice warns him that Gregory's apprentices always die and begs him not to mention her to Gregory. That night, Alice returns to the witch's lair, revealing she is Lizzie's daughter. Malkin praises her for spying on Gregory and announces that all dark beings must gather for the coming blood moon. As Tom travels through the forest with Gregory, he keeps being frightened by ghosts. Gregory explains spooks only kill dangerous creatures and warns they must stop Malkin soon. Tom has another vision of Malkin escaping the cage and faints. He wakes on a boat with Gregory and a troll named Tusk. Eventually, they arrive at Gregory's home, packed with weapons, books, and mechanical devices. Tom discovers a tapestry about the Falcons, an ancient order of warriors who train seventh sons to battle darkness. Gregory is the last surviving member. Apprenticeship normally takes 10 years, but Gregory says Tom has only a week before the blood moon rises, an event that occurs once per century and once empowered witches enough to start a great war. That night, Tom hears Gregory calling for help and investigates, finding a suit of armor containing a skeleton. When he turns his back, the armor comes to life and chases him, smashing doors and throwing a spear. Tom climbs onto the machinery for safety, but the armor climbs after him and attacks wildly, destroying everything. It eventually tackles Tom off the platform, but before it kills him, Gregory destroys the dark force animating it. He scolds Tom for leaving his room. His first test failed. Gregory then throws him a staff and attacks with a sword while hurling insults about Tom's family. Tom is easily overwhelmed until, out of frustration, he hurls a sword past Gregory's head. Satisfied by Tom's spirit, Gregory continues the training. Tom learns about Malkin's minions and elite lieutenants, practices knife throwing, studies metals and herbs harmful to dark creatures, and learns how to identify monsters and resist spells. At the lair, Malkin's lieutenants arrive with hordes of demonic soldiers. When one minion looks at her, she instantly kills him, alarming Alice, who realizes Malkin cares nothing for her people. Lizzie assures her daughter that Malkin would never harm their family. Later that night, Tom sees Alice bathing in a lake. She magically dresses before he turns around, but when they touch, a burst of light appears. She admits she's a witch and says a spark under moonlight can signal true love. She insists not all witches are evil and confesses she has been spying on Gregory. They nearly kiss before Tusk has a nightmare and interrupts them. When Tom looks back, Alice is gone. The next morning, city bells ring. It's a summons for spooks. Knights arrive to escort them to the city, a 2-day journey. Once there, a priest describes a terrifying beast locked in a cage. Though it looks like a bear, Gregory recognizes Urag, Malkin's most vicious lieutenant. He sends the soldiers away, secures the doors, and fights Urag alone. Urag escapes the cage, but Gregory forces him into human form with silver powder. They engage in a brutal hand-to-hand fight. When Urag corners Gregory, Tom distracts Urag with a thrown object, but is quickly overpowered. Gregory attacks from behind and regains the advantage, but Urag climbs the walls. Gregory uses Tom as bait on top of a cage, then drops it onto Urag. Gregory tries to strangle him with a chain, but Urag shifts into a bear again. Tom throws more silver to stop the transformation, and together they force Urag into a cage and restrain him. Gregory orders Tom to ignite the oil and burn Urag, but Tom hesitates to kill. Gregory burns Urag himself, then declares Tom useless if he cannot kill witches. He leaves in anger. Alice sees all this and later approaches Tom privately. She says the spark between them might mean a shared destiny, or maybe it was just dust. She also reveals Gregory once loved a witch. Tom kisses her, and they spend the night together. Tom wants to escape with Alice to someplace safe, but Alice says nowhere is safe. Tom has a vision of the world consumed by darkness and Malkin killing Gregory. Worried, he returns to Gregory and leaves Alice behind. Malkin, informed of Urag's death, instructs Lizzie to capture Gregory. Lizzie transforms into a bird to obey. The next day, Tom reunites with Gregory, who admits he once loved Malkin. She was not always evil, but resentment and hatred corrupted her. When she learned Gregory married someone else, she murdered his wife out of jealousy. Gregory captured her but couldn't kill her, choosing imprisonment instead, now regretting that decision. He shows Tom his wife's grave and explains that he trains Tom harshly so Tom won't repeat his mistakes. Their journey continues until Tusk arrives to warn them. The ground begins to shake as a boggart, a massive, unstoppable creature, erupts from beneath them. The horses flee, the carriage is thrown, and everyone tumbles downhill. Gregory says boggarts cannot be fought and orders them to run. The boggart knocks Tusk aside and chases Gregory and Tom through a mountain tunnel, trapping them on a cliff ledge. They jump into a river and are rescued by a fisherman on a raft. But the boggart leaps into the water too, overturning the raft. It seizes Tom, who stabs its hand and climbs onto its back, stabbing again. The wounded boggart sinks, swept over a waterfall. It dies on the rocks, while Tom survives and swims to shore. There he encounters Lizzie, who warns him to stay away from Alice and attacks with a sword. Tom grabs the blade and his necklace flares with magic, disarming her. Lizzie recognizes the necklace's stone as belonging to Malkin and flies away to warn her. Tom reunites with Gregory, who recognizes the necklace as the Umbran Stone, the witch's sacred relic that strengthens their power and creates powerful illusions. If Tom's mother possessed it, she must be the witch who stole it from Malkin, and Tom's visions now make sense. At the lair, Malkin tries convincing Alice that Tom is as cruel as Gregory. Alice defends him, so Malkin offers a bargain. Bring her the stone, and Tom will live. Malkin then empowers her lieutenants and unleashes them upon the city. They tear through the gates and slaughter citizens. One grows to monstrous size. Another wields many swords with multiple arms. Tom's mother hides her daughter, then kills a lieutenant with his own staff. Sensing her magic, Malkin arrives and burns Tom's mother alive. In the mountains, Alice meets Tom and kisses him, urging him to flee with her. Tom professes his love, but Gregory arrives and captures Alice with bolas, accusing her of spying. Tom frees her, but Gregory angrily shows Tom that the stone is missing. Alice has stolen it. Tom runs after her, but is surrounded by Lieutenant Radu and his minions. Gregory and Tusk join the fight, and after defeating many enemies, the group tries to flee but is driven to a cliff. Minions shove Tusk over the edge and lasso Tom by the legs, dragging him down the cliffside. Gregory tries to pull him up with his staff, but Tom slips and falls. Radu uses the distraction to net Gregory and take him captive, following Malkin's orders to keep him alive. Tom survives the fall and sees a vision of his mother dying. Her spirit urges him to be brave and tells him only he can wield the stone to stop Malkin. Strengthened, Tom recovers Gregory's staff and rescues Tusk from the cliffside. That night, Radu cuts Gregory free and kicks him out of a cage before presenting him to Malkin. Radu announces Tom's death. Lizzie tells Alice it was necessary, but Alice reacts with grief and anger. Malkin uses the stone to enchant Gregory and lure him into joining her. As he moves in to kiss her, Alice slips between them, steals the necklace, and escapes. Guards give chase, but she evades them, breaking the spell. Enraged, Malkin slams Gregory into a building and takes beast form to pursue Alice. Lizzie begs her not to kill Alice, but is ignored and transforms to follow. Malkin nearly catches Alice, but Lizzie grabs her wing and drags her down into stone pillars. A collapsing column forces Alice to roll out of the way, leaving the necklace buried under rubble. Lizzie crashes when Malkin breathes fire, and the witches continue fighting. Radu transforms into a giant creature and roars in Gregory's face, while Alice fends off attackers until Tom finds her. He demands the stone, but she says she lost it and only took it to protect him. A minion finds them, and Tom kills him with a thrown knife, exposing their location. Tusk arrives to protect them, fighting the minions alongside Tom. He puts it on and activates the power of Gregory's staff, which allows him to burn down the lieutenant in just a few seconds. Alice is still running around, and after killing a minion, she encounters a lieutenant too. He quickly overpowers her and is about to kill her, but Tom attacks him with the staff and burns him to death. Meanwhile, the Radu beast captures Gregory, who tells him he has no honor for not fighting him as a man. Radu transforms into his human form and gives Gregory a blade so they can fight in equal conditions. It seems their skills are similar, however, Gregory soon gets a big slash on his stomach and has to hide. Radu brings down a column to force Gregory to come out, so the spook quickly retaliates with the chain blade and finally brings his opponent down to kill him. In the sky, Malkin grabs Lizzie to bite her neck and stab her with her tail. Lizzie immediately stabs her back, and both witches cry in pain as they fall to the ground. They both go back to their human forms, and when Lizzie begs for Alice's life, Malkin calls her a traitor and kills her. Afterward, Malkin enters her lair, and Gregory tells Tom he must do this alone. He goes inside and gets ready to stab Malkin, who is only pretending to feel weak to grab him by the neck. Before she can kill him, Tom shows up and throws a knife that finally kills her. After Malkin whispers something about a curse, Tom sets her on fire. Sometime later, Gregory uses his staff to burn a tattoo on Tom's hand, which officially marks him as a spook. Alice comes to see him and wonders if the spark had only been dust, so Tom kisses her to prove his love is real. However, he's chosen the life of a spook and must leave. Gregory can now retire and leaves the staff, his home, and Tusk under Tom's care. At that moment, the bells ring in the city, summoning Tom for his first job.